Crushing the meta.
A big welcome to our channel. We are Team Crushing the Meta, and today I'm here for you guys with the deck profile on Nubatama, Shiranui, or Dominate, whatever you want to call it. It's a little bit of a mix with After Image, but not too much. So yeah, I'm very excited to do these kind of fast deck profiles for you guys. Especially I already did the one on Charlotte because Charlotte's getting support, and I'm doing the one on Shiranui or Nubatama in general because they're getting support as well. I'm sorry for the glare a little bit, but I hope that it's alright for you guys to see the cards. So as you can see, let's start with the grade 3s. I play one of each of the old Shiranuis just because I do like the art a lot, and I don't really go into them a lot. I would rather go into Oboro, so that's why I play him at 4. Playing 4 copies of this card means that you really actually focus on the Dominate engine, which is really good. But actually it's almost the same because discarding a card or letting your opponent guard at least once because they get dominated is actually almost the same. But yeah, his skill doesn't cost you a counterblast and his skill costs you a counterblast. So that's actually the reason why I like to focus more on him. For the other grade 3s that I play, I also play the monkey, which is actually, it's not a monkey, but I like calling him the monkey. Normally I play 2 copies of this card and I play 7 grade 3s, so I cut one of the old Shiranuis, but I think when the new one will come out, the deck will be different. But yeah, as I said, I like to play at least one of each arts because I really like Shiranui himself. So yeah, and these guys are really good. They power up themselves because also you play stands. Sometimes you have a small deck left and you have like, you know that you have at least 3 stands in there because you always put them back. So it's really nice to have these cards power up themselves. Let your opponent also power up one of their Regars, dominate it and let it attack them. Really good. I'm very I'm a big fan of this card. Playing the 8 grade 3s is actually not really bad, but at the same time you don't really need it. You would rather play one more grade 2 or grade 1 to rush your opponent at the start of the game so they could discard some of their good cards and some of the cards that you could call back. For the grade 2 lineup, I like to play 2 copies of... I'm really not good at pronouncing their names, but I think his name is Ungai. Ungai is really stupid card, and I like to play him at least at 2. I would rather put more copies of this card in here, but I already play 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, I already play 12 grade 2s, so I can't really put one more in here, or I actually don't really want to play 13 grade 2s. This guy is really good, and I really like his skill. Just sometimes when he gets called with your opponent's skills on their turn, you can get his skill off, but also just on your turn to leave your opponent Vanguard at 11k again. It's really good, especially if they get a trigger when you stride on your stride skill against like let's say Minjin Lord's turn, then you really don't want them to have the 16k base. Just put them back to the 11k, just perfect. Then I play actually 3 copies of Genkai and 3 copies of Furai. I know that people would like to play Furai more, but actually Furai is really good in the Minjin Lord turn. All the other turns he doesn't really do a lot. He does get power, don't get me wrong, he does get power from attacking, but not that much. Genkai, on the other hand, sometimes when you're playing this deck, your opponent would like to rush you for some reason. And then that's when Genkai come in handy because you do have the counterblasts and the soul to get the draw power, so it's really nice. It's sometimes even a +2 or +3, so I do really like him a lot. Usually a +2 because you get your stride skill off and then other skill to dominate. And for the last grade 3 that I like to run in here is of course the beer. It's really nice to run him at 4. He's good to power up himself. He's good to add a card to your hand. So For a Counter Blast, he actually does more than Genkai, but yeah, sometimes Genkai stays on the field and he doesn't. So that's actually why he is always a target, and sometimes they would leave Genkai on the field. But it depends on your opponent. I mean, they cannot kill all your grade 2s. So this card is also very good because when you ride him, you still get his skill off to bind something. That's why you play him at 4. For the grade 1 lineup, to help the beer out, I play 2 copies of his little friend. When you get his skill off, then you have more targets to add to your hand. He does also help out to fill your soul because like some of your strides really need soul. Some of them doesn't even cost you a counter blast, they cost you soul, like him and like the GB8. So it's really nice to build up some soul so you could use it again. But also he does get the option to power up himself. So being a 12k attacker or a 12k booster is also very nice. I like having the really strong columns in this deck, and that's also the reason why I play 3 copies of this card, just to make him so powerful that your opponent think, well, damn, really? Is that the column? And then you say, yep. I play only 3 copies of this card, but I have multiple games that I have all 3 of them in the back row, and that's just insane how much power that you could get from these cards, especially in the Ninja Lord turn. For the Stride Folders, again, I like to play the different arts. You could cut this card to 3, but I like playing at 4. I don't really have another great one that I really want to play. I mean, Nubatama has a lot of great ones, don't get me wrong. I mean, you could play this card even at 3 if you want to, but I don't really feel that they are necessary. I like this card, and I also like rushing with my grade 3s, so I always need something in hand to stride with, and that's why this card is really good. To have this stride folder to get you the right grade 3 if you want to. For the PGs, I play the arm flippers just because this deck's actually very counterblast heavy if you want to make any pluses. For the starter, I like to play the Dominate starter. It's good, and I don't really have to explain why this card is really good. So 2 draw triggers, and then 6 crits. Really good to counter charge, just put them into the soul to draw. Playing the draw trigger to power up regards your opponent's regards, but also the draw does help out. 4 stands, of course, the stand is way too good, and being a stand is also good. And then 4 heals, playing those until we get the counter chargers. When you get to the counter chargers, I will definitely change them up. Then we go to the stride. Your first stride is almost always Munjin Timbu. Very good card, does help out. I only play him at 2, not at 4, because I don't really see myself going into him a second time a lot. I know he does power up the Vanguard a lot more because you have more face-up units, but actually you never go into him multiple times. That's just my opinion. Minjin Lord, I do play 4 copies of him because sometimes the first one doesn't kill, then the second one will kill. But yeah, this card is just way too good. If your opponent doesn't play a lot of resist units, if you have a lot of full rise in your hand, you can make a very strong, devastating Ninja Lord turn. I also like to play Attack Lord. It's really good, another option to have. We will see what we will get in the new set. I think that I will maybe take him out. I don't really play him a lot, but he is as good as actually Ninja Lord sometimes if they don't have a lot of regards and you can't call a lot more. So also one of these tries that could get a critical, which is very nice in this deck because you don't really have the option to get a crit. But he sometimes just come as a surprise for your opponent because they don't really know him. Not a lot of people play him anymore, so that's why I like this card. Also the art on the card is just amazing. Then I play one of each GR. Having the GB8 in here is of course way too good. Do we really have to talk about how broken this card is? Nope. I'm very happy that we're getting a reprint of this because some people that play Nubatama really can't afford paying like 40 or even 50. There came a time that he was even 50 just to play this fucking card, so that's, yeah. And of course, I'm not really a big fan of him, but in some situations, if you don't have the counter blasts, if your opponent really has a lot of rare guards and like they have the resist or something, then this card is really, really good. But yeah, me myself, I don't really use him as a finisher. He's more like the Charlotte Stride. It's just like the same, just there. Sometimes not to finish off, but just to kill your opponent's field. If you like a mediocre turn, I'd like to call it. But yeah, I've seen a lot of people think of it as an extra rescue check or an extra drive check or give you just more power. Well, you can think of it what you want. I think that these two cards, like the GB8 and this motherfucker, these two are definitely finishers, and I do really think that this card is more of a mediocre stride, but I don't say that it's not good. It's really, really good in the right situation, but is it really a finisher? Well, I don't know. I don't play Drachma because I don't have him, and even if I would have him, then I don't really know if I would play him in here. I think that this deck has a lot of better options than Drachma in most situations, so I'm really not sure about playing Drachma in Nubatama. I think it's more made for like Kagero or something that don't really have the option to discard. But I think in this deck you have way, way, way better options. Uh, but yeah, if I would have a Drachma, I would definitely put him in here. Edesmil, of course, for the G Guardians, and then playing one of each of them. She's really good to unflip sometimes to get to the GB8 and just to troll with your opponent and get the heal skill off. Sometimes you have a draw trigger, discard to draw something else. This is just a solid 20k shield, but you would definitely take him out if you get better G Guardians. And then I also like to play two of these just to fuck with your opponent. Sometimes, like not sometimes, like a lot of times, your opponent would forget about him. I don't really know why they forget about him. It's like playing as Gear Chronicle, forgetting about a H-Round. You can't forget about cards like these. But yeah, sometimes they do. And then this card fucked them up. So that's actually it for the deck profile on the Shiranui. Tell me what you think about the deck and tell me what you want to see next. Again, this was a fast deck profile on Nubatama, Shiranui, Dominate. What do you want to see next? Tell me. Comment, subscribe, like. Go to our channel and check our Facebook group out. Thanks for watching, guys. Till next time.